We are just 2 days away from the release of the final Cold War Zombies map, Forsaken, and in this video we're going to be diving into everything coming into the map and more importantly talking about the 5 skill tier upgrades coming with PhD Slider. It's crazy to think that the finale of Cold War is happening in just 2 days time, so be sure to subscribe with notifications on because we are going to be flooding your sub box with videos once the map's out, and we'll be getting a sneak peek of the map tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe here on the channel if you haven't already. And whilst you're down there, feel free to click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. So for the 10th and final Zombies perk, Treyarch are delivering the best of both worlds with the evolution of a series favorite. PhD Slider comes to Forsaken in its own dedicated perk machine and at Wonderfizz machines in all round-based maps and Outbreak. If you're a long-term fan of zombies, you'll be very familiar with PhD's base ability and some of its crucial upgrades, including immunity to explosive damage from your own weapons. However, its true potential is unlocked once all 5 skill tiers have been activated. So its base ability when you buy the perk is sliding into enemies will trigger an explosion, and the size and damage increase the farther you slide before impact. It will be really interesting to see how far back you can start a slide before making contact with zombies and seeing how big of an explosion you can trigger, but I would like to assume that this explosion is going to be of infinite damage, so no matter what round you're on, that explosion slide is going to kill zombies no matter what. Jumping into skill tier 1, it grants you immunity to environmental damage while sliding. So this could be explosions or fire. As long as you're sliding, you'll be immune to any environmental damage from that. So if you wanted to try and take out a Franzi Soldat or something like that whilst it's got its flamethrower out, you should be immune to any damage from that whilst you're going for that slide, which is pretty cool. The second skill tier upgrade will increase your slide duration, and this plays in heavily to the base ability because normally you can slide a decent length of time within Cold War Zombies, but it's definitely not a really long sliding distance. So this will increase your slide duration, which is going to be really interesting, and I think that's going to be a useful thing on its own, let alone the fact that you can build up an explosion as well. The third skill tier will give you immunity to self-inflicted explosive damage, which is every reason why anyone buys PhD Flopper in the first place. So being immune to self-inflicted explosive damage means you'll no longer take any splash damage from the ray gun when shooting near your feet or directly at your feet, and explosive weapons like rocket launchers, dual-wield pistols, and anything that produces some sort of explosive damage, you'll be absolutely immune to it, which is fantastic and definitely going to be worth getting that third skill tier, so you can really get both benefits to what PhD was originally in the older games. Now for skill tier 4, this will increase your slide speed. So combining tier 2 and 4, you'll have an increased slide duration, so you'll slide for longer, and this will increase your slide speed. Now I'm hoping that this will match the same sliding speed that we got in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and if this perk gives us that movement mobility like we got in Black Ops 3, then I think this is going to be one of the most popular functions of the perk beyond just its ability to, trigger explosions. Just being able to slide quicker and for longer means you're going to be able to get around maps a lot more quickly now. Combine that with stamina up, you've just got an absolute winner here. So you'll be able to get away from stuff very quick, move around the maps quick. I love the sound of this. But for its 5th and final skill tier upgrade, gives you the ability of falling from a large height will trigger an explosion. The size and damage increase the higher you fall. So this literally has every element of the original PhD Flopper perk, which people love so much, but evolved with a modern twist. And I'm so happy that they've brought this back, because in the original you could dolphin dive, and when you dived, falling from a large height and diving created that explosion. But now we can go into Outbreak, we can go to the top of Array, jump off it, and potentially have the biggest explosion in the history of Call of Duty Zombies created from PhD. Now I'm really excited to see how big these explosions could be when you think of how big areas in Outbreak are. I don't think this would be too useful on round-based maps, as you just don't have any verticality to that extent. But I still think this is a fantastic way to bring PhD into the game, and they've not nerfed any part of it, which is the best part. And Treyarch realized that at the end of their blog post about Season 6, saying, because you can carry all 10 perks with no limits, players can combine a maxed out PhD slider with perks like Speed Cola, Juggernog, and Stamina Up to sprint into a slide even faster, stay alive longer after slamming into hordes at high rounds, and survive massive blasts generated by dropping from huge heights. Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. But on top of that, we're going to briefly go go over what's coming with Season 6 in the patch notes for zombies. Of course, we're getting the Forsaken map, we're getting the Chrysalax Wonder Weapon, and we now know exactly what both versions of the weapon are called. The first is the Chrysalax Savager, an ethereal axe that can kill multiple zombies in a single swipe and launch a spinning energy blade into the air. So it sounds like we might have a little bit of a Hell's Retriever on our hands here. But shifting the hilt into a front grip, it transforms into the Chrysalax Storm, which is a rapid-fire Dark Ether energy weapon. In this form, shots have a chance to mutate normal zombies into explosive Ethereum crystal bombs for some added crowd control. As we all know, the ARC-XD support weapon will be coming to all round-based maps and Outbreak, along with the hand cannon support weapon, and really randomly, the Die Wonder weapon can now be upgraded at the Pack-a-Punch machine on all round-based maps and Outbreak. We've never been able to do that before. We've just had to use it in its base form or upgrade it elementally, but now we can actually upgrade it in the Pack-a-Punch, which is really weird. It'll be interesting to see how much different that is. We're getting a new elite enemy introduced in Season 6, which is the Abomination. That's the name of the three-headed zombie that we see in the trailers. They've adjusted the Plaguehound Ponce behavior to make their attacks easier to telegraph and dodge, which is absolutely fantastic because for the longest time, those Plaguehounds just have the craziest lunge distance in the world. And they've also adjusted Tempest teleport behavior, so now it teleports in bursts, and after multiple teleports, it will be unable to teleport for a period of time. This is another amazing change. And now it won't feel next to impossible to dodge Tempest when you're driving a vehicle in Outbreak, because just when you think you've outsmarted them, they just keep teleporting and eventually get you. But there's also a new trap coming into Forsaken, which is called the Suspended Hind, which I think we see in one of the trailers as like a helicopter flying around, so that makes a lot of sense. And for those of you that want to know exactly when the Easter egg is going live for Forsaken, well, the map comes out on October 7th on Thursday. It comes out extremely early morning, so if you live in the UK like me, it will be out at 5 AM. But the Easter egg kicks off 13 hours after the map releases, which is 10 AM Pacific time, 1 PM Eastern time, and 6 PM UK time on Thursday, October the 7th. So be sure to stay tuned here on the channel. That live stream hunt will be going on, and you'll be right here to witness the finale of this chapter of the Dark Ether storyline. On top of all that, there is a new Outbreak LTM coming during the season, during the Haunting event, and I'm really excited to see what exactly that will entail. Some final little bits and pieces go towards the Rampage Inducer feature being available in local offline play, and there being several addresses to gameplay and stability for Dead Ops Arcade 3, as well as some new maps coming to Onslaught, which is the PlayStation exclusive mode. A very, very exciting times for the world of Cold War Zombies. It's all kicking off starting tomorrow with our early gameplay from Treyarch, and then the map releasing on Thursday. You gotta be here for it, so be sure to stay tuned, but I'll catch you guys for that tomorrow.